100 years ago in 1925, Heisenberg, Born, and Jordan submitted what we call the three-man paper, which was the paper that first formalized quantum mechanics as we know it. In celebration of that, the UN has declared 2025 to be the International Year of Quantum Science and Technology. The global quantum ecosystem is really working together to try to find applications of the technology, not only in fintech, but also in pharmaceuticals, material sciences, logistics, manufacturing, all of which seem to have cases where quantum has a potential to make some processes more efficient. On the other side, there's a quantum threat. And here we're seeing the fintech ecosystem as a whole, as well as governments and regulators and other stakeholders, really work to make sure that we're preparing our financial services infrastructure ahead of when that threat arrives. The biggest challenge is probably trying to figure out exactly where and when we're going to use quantum applications within financial services. There are two main ways that we can try to find these applications, theoretical and experimental. On the theoretical side, these are cases where it really is quite certain that we have applications. And in fact, a great example is the proof that quantum computers will eventually cause a threat to our cybersecurity. This was proven back in 1994 by Peter Shor, who using mathematics showed that a quantum system would be able to break the mathematical problem that we rely on to keep our system safe. The second way, experimentally, is a little bit trickier, though it's much more common. Here, we look for motivations from quantum theory for where we think a quantum computer is going to do better to solve certain problems. And then we conduct experiments. Now, this can be very fruitful, but it's also a little bit trickier because it's a little bit uncertain when you're using toy models or toy data to know how that's going to scale up to a real-world case. One of the things that's really impressed me is how many stakeholders seem to be working together to prepare for this. So we have our research efforts within Fidelity, but we also have regulators that are starting to think about it, and we have infrastructure providers that are starting to think about it. So I'm confident that when we start having these use cases and applications ready for production, that path has largely been paved already. If you're interested in getting involved in quantum applications for financial services, you really do need to have a firm grasp of quantum technology and quantum information theory. Generally, this has required a PhD, though I will say that I've started to see some companies who are requiring only a master's degree or a nice portfolio of work that demonstrates expertise. In either case, though, I'd say now's the time to get started.